Okay, let's unpack this. We're diving into something that feels, well, particularly unsettling.
Right, because it targets the very things we trust for security, especially in crypto.
Exactly. Hardware wallets like Ledger, they're often seen as the gold standard.
Mm-hmm. Keeping keys offline, away from danger. That's the whole point.
You buy one, you trust the process. But what if that trust in the software involved is turned against you?
That's the fascinating part here, isn't it? They exploit that necessary interaction.
You mean the hardware is secure, but you still need an app?
Precisely. You need software, like the Ledger Live app, to actually, manage your crypto day to day.
See balances and transactions.
Yeah, and that's the link the attackers are zeroing in on.
And that brings us to today's deep dive. We're looking at this pretty sophisticated malware campaign.
Specifically targeting macOS users.
And the goal isn't just random data theft, it's replacing the real Ledger Live app.
With a convincing fake. A fake design for one thing.
Stealing your seed phrase. The keys to the kingdom.
Absolutely. And we're basing this on a recent report from the cybersecurity firm Moonlock.
Yes, that's right. Highlighted in an article we've been looking through.
Okay.
So our mission today, break down how the scam works, understand the tools, the underground market behind it.
Look at the scale, how persistent it is.
And most importantly, pull out the essential steps you need to take to protect yourself. Because honestly, how they pull this off is quite clever.
It really is. So the mechanism, how do they turn that trusted tool against you?
Well, as we said, the vulnerability isn't the hardware itself, right? It's the software interface.
It's that you have to interact with something like Ledger Live to manage your assets.
You download the app, set it up, connect the device. Seems normal.
But that's where they can slip into
Yep.
that process.
So step one is getting the malware onto your Mac.
Right. And Moonlock found examples like the Atomic macOS stealer
And that's been found where?
on a lot of hacked websites. The report mentioned at least 2,800 sites.
Wow, 2,800. That gives you a sense of the potential reach, how it could spread initially.
It really does. So once that malware lands on your system, then comes the crucial part.
The switcheroo.
Exactly. It actively replaces the genuine Ledger Live app with this extremely convincing fake.
So you click the icon you always use?
And you're unknowingly opening their malicious version, designed to look identical.
That's insidious. Thinking you're safe, but you're walking into a trap.
Precisely. And it's not just passive, it uses social engineering.
How so?
The analysis shows it generates fake alerts, pop-ups,
What kind of alerts?
urgent stuff, suspicious activity detected, or, critical error, immediate action required, designed to make you panic.
Playing on that fear. Protect your funds, act now. I think I see where this is going. The trap.
The trap is that this fake pop-up then prompts you, demands really, that you enter your 24-word seed phrase to verify or recover your account.
And that is the absolute #1 thing you never do with a hardware wallet.
Never, ever. That phrase is only for initial setup or, crucially, recovery onto a new hardware device if the old one is gone. Never into software. Never online.
It completely breaks the security model. The whole point is that phrase stays offline.
Totally. Those 24 words are the master key. Entering them into any app, any website, you're handing over control. And this fake app is built specifically to trick you into doing just that.
So, okay, you see the warning, you panic, you type in the phrase into this fake app. What happens next? How fast is it?
According to the research, instantaneous. Once entered, the phrase is sent straight to the attacker's servers. They can drain your wallet in seconds. Literally seconds. There's no time to react once it's compromised.
Seconds? That's terrifying. And the report mentioned this capability evolved, didn't it?
That's a key point. Shows how they adapt. Initially, these clone apps might steal data passwords, notes, wallet info, stuff like that.
But not drain funds directly.
Not immediately. But Moonlock observed that within about a year, the attackers upgraded. They developed this direct seed phrase theft, enabling the instant draining.
That progression, that focus, it shows real determination. They see a valuable target and learn how to hit it harder and faster.
Definitely highlights how quickly these threat actors improve their tactics.
Let's dig into the tools a bit more. You mentioned the Atomic macOS stealer.
Yeah, Moonlock highlighted that one specifically being used to distribute the fake Ledger Live.
And it does more than just swap the app, right?
Oh yeah, it's a broad info stealer. Grabs personal files, passwords, notes, general crypto wallet details, and for this specific scam, It has that function to replace the real ledger live.
Finding it on almost 3,000 hacked sites suggests it's part of a bigger ecosystem.
It certainly implies that. And then there's the dark web connection the report mentioned.
What about that?
Threat actors are actively advertising malware with specific anti-ledger features on these underground forums.
Anti-ledger features, so they're explicitly marketing tools to attack ledger users.
That's exactly what the analysis indicates. Moonlock even looked at one advertised sample. Interestingly, they found it didn't yet have all the promised anti-ledger phishing functionality.
So advertising capabilities they haven't fully built yet. Vaporware, almost.
Well, the researchers speculate those features are either still being developed or planned for upcoming versions.
Which suggests what?
It signals a serious ongoing effort. They're investing time and resources specifically to target ledger users and figure out ways around the security. It's not a casual thing.
That really backs up the firm's assessment, doesn't it? That this is a high-stakes effort to outsmart one of the most trusted tools.
And that the attackers are not backing down. They see a potential payoff, and they're persistent.
It really paints a picture of a dedicated adversary.
Exactly. Operating almost like a business, developing specialized tools.
So, looking at the scope, the persistence, how long has this specific fake Ledger Live campaign been tracked?
The report says Moonlock has been tracking malware, pushing this malicious clone since August of last year.
Okay, so not brand new. It's been active for, 8-9 months at least?
Correct. And it's not just one group. They've identified at least 4 distinct active campaigns using this technique right now.
4 different campaigns, all running the same playbook of replacing the real app.
It reinforces that idea that hackers are, only getting smarter and refining these attacks.
And the dark web chatter you mentioned about anti-ledger schemes, is that still growing?
Yes, the source emphasizes the discussion is growing on those forums. Moonlock sees it as a strong sign that the next wave of attacks is already forming, maybe even more sophisticated ones.
That's a really crucial takeaway. This isn't going away, it's evolving. Attackers are sharing notes, building better tools.
Which leads directly to the need for constant vigilance from users.
Absolutely. Okay, let's get to the most important part for everyone listening. What do you do? How do you protect yourself?
Right. The good news is, while the attack is clever, the main defense is about sticking to basic security hygiene that the scam tries to make you forget in a moment of panic.
So, based on this analysis, what's the #1 red flag? The absolute critical thing to watch for?
The primary advice from the cybersecurity firm is be extremely suspicious of any page, pop-up, or alert saying there's a critical error and asking for your 24-word recovery phrase.
That combination, the error message plus the demand for the seed phrase.
That's the giant red flag. If you see those two together, just assume it's a scam. Doesn't matter how real it looks, stop.
Because that's the exact moment the scam tries to exploit.
Precisely. Which brings us back to that golden rule we talked about. It cannot be repeated enough.
Never, ever share your seed phrase.
Never share it with anyone. Never type it into any website, any app, any digital form, no matter how official it seems.
Your hardware wallet is designed so you don't need to do that for normal operations.
That rule is your shield. If those 24 words never touch an internet-connected computer or phone screen, this specific attack vector just fails. They can't steal what you don't give them.
Makes sense. What else?
The other crucial step is about avoiding the fake app entirely. Download Ledger Live only from its official source.
Don't just Google it and click the first link, especially if it's an ad.
Definitely not. Don't get it from email links, social media, random forums. Go directly to the official Ledger website, type the address yourself, and get it there.
That tackles the problem at the source, preventing the malicious clone from even getting installed.
Right. It bypasses that risk. The report did note Ledger hadn't immediately responded to their inquiry on this specific campaign.
Okay.
But the core advice, based on how the attack works, it remains the same. Download only from official sources. Never type your seed phrase online.
So, wrapping this up, what's the big picture here for you, the listener?
This deep dive really shows how even tools designed for top security can be targeted. Not usually by breaking the core security, the hardware in this case.
But by attacking the user. Through social engineering, fake software tricking you into giving up the one thing that grants access.
Your seed phrase. It's a powerful reminder that security isn't just tech. It's also about awareness and vigilance, especially when you feel pressured or rushed.
Those urgent prompts asking for sensitive info, that's when you need to be most skeptical.
Absolutely. And this whole story, from the malware details to the dark web chatter about anti-ledger tools.
It really highlights that constant battle, right? The cat and mouse game between security folks and attackers.
It does. The attackers are always adapting, always looking for an edge.
Which means staying informed about their evolving tactics, like the ones we've discussed today, is probably the most critical thing you can do for your own protection in this digital world.